Welcome to another episode of Sawdust Nation, episode 37, with Nick from NPG Creations, AJ from Crafted and NJ, and myself, Josh, from North Country Woodworking. Nick, man, let's hear from our sponsors.
Oh, I was hoping you'd ask that. Well, check out Totalboat Epoxies for the best epoxies and finishes, such as their Halcyon, which I'm now a fan of. Visit www.totalboat.com today, so get on that boat. Next up, we got Jtechphotonics. If you need a world-class laser for your CNC machine, check them out, www.jtechphotonics.com. Give them a call, shoot them an email, tell them Nick sent you. And lastly, we want to give a special thank you and a special shout-out to Orca Abrasives, because this episode specifically is brought to you by Orca Abrasives. If you need to sand something, if you have a power sander with 3-inch, 6-inch, 5-inch discs, whichever, you want an Orca Abrasives on your sander. So now we're going to add a link to our Sawdust Nation Instagram page as well as the podcast page. If you click on that link and use promo code SawdustNation10, you will get 10% off your order at Orca Abrasives. Now, that being said, our sponsors are taken care of. AJ, I got to know what's going on in your shop.
Well, if you replay, I think episode 20 to now.
Oh, it's all the same?
It's the same thing.
Okay, so
it's all
Nick,
the same.
Man, how's it going on the road?
Okay, I'll steal his thunder. It's been a...
Come on, man. We know you might be working on flags, but those flags are a work of art, and each one is different in its own right. So let's hear about them.
Yeah, like I said, I got flags going on. I'm getting some of them completed that have to go out ASAP. This week, I'm actually taking off Friday because I have too many orders that I got to get done and not enough time. So the other day, I went to Home Depot, got more. I think like 30 different, more than 30 2x4s, those barils. I weeded through the whole pile of them.
Man, Home Depot must
I felt like
love
I was
you,
there
by
for.
the way. You got all these 2x4s laying
trust
out.
me. I went there. If they had more that weren't so high, I would have gotten more, and I probably would have walked out with at least 60 or more because I got enough flags to utilize them. So, but I think I found a piece of, and I meant to actually message it to you guys. I think I found a piece of spalted pine, if you can actually believe that. And I swear to God, while you're talking about your shops, I'm going to send it to the group because it is a piece of spalted pine. I swear.
I don't believe you.
I'm sorry, but Nick looks like he's going to destroy this.
I don't believe
He has a grin like, nope.
You're gonna see it. Now, I thought it was watermarks, but it can't be. It can't be.
It's,
but anyway,
it's just mold, man. It's just mold.
It's not. It's not. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm sticking to it, man. But anyway, tonight I got another flag stained, and then also I used for the first time Mixall pigment that I'm using in a water-based stain. It's a clear tint base stain, so I didn't actually have Sherwin-Williams mix anything into it. I literally grabbed it off the shelf because I'm trying to make a green match a customer's logo. So I used the Mixall, dropped them in, and did a few test samples to get the correct green, and I think I landed it. So tomorrow I'm going to hope to stain the flag that I just posted up with the green stripes as well. I got another order for that welcome sign that I just posted up today. Mm-hmm. Literally, I posted it up within 5 minutes. Another repeat customer messages me, goes, I want one, and how much? So I told him, and he wants a welcome sign. Even though it's too low priced for Josh, I get it.
Do you make any custom signs, or do they all just say welcome?
I can make it say anything your heart desires.
I want to say go away.
That can be done. And actually, I'm going to message you, Josh, about it, but while we're here talking, I actually might need your assistance on getting a stencil made for the welcome sign. Because I need them specific sized letters. So I have the letters online. I could send them to you and see if you can maybe make it into either like a vinyl where I could stick it on and then paint over it, or maybe a reusable stencil So we'll see how we can make it work.
Yeah, that'd be fun, especially because I haven't done a stencil you can reuse. So maybe we can explore that. But I could definitely do the vinyl if the other one does not work out.
Okay. So I'll definitely I'll send you the lettering on that. But with that, as you saw in the stories and some posts, I got the noodle board really going. That as Nick is imitating
every time somebody says noodle board, I think of the wacky waving inflatable arm tube man. You know what I'm talking about at all the car dealerships?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So noodle board.
There's a TikTok out there where there's one waving in the window, like it just pops in there once in a while, and they put that like little kid saying, "Hi, how are you?"
Well, I got that noodle board. It's made out of all walnut. The sides, I did exactly what we were talking about in a couple episodes ago. I rabbited the edge of the base and then put the handles and the back part on those rabbets, so I had a little bit more glue surface, and got that all glued up. Did half laps in the back, so it actually makes it look like I actually know what I'm doing. And the epoxy, which I used Totalboat, high performance 2-to-1 slow hardener. I didn't go with the fast, and used some black diamond pigment. Use some.
Did you turn on the lights?
Put on some Barry Manilow?
Turn on some music?
I did. And I went real slow with it. I mixed in this nice black diamond pigments. It was pure white. And let me tell you, that thing's coming out really, really nice. And I can't wait to get it oiled up. And I cannot wait to oil my walnut. So that walnut board is gonna.
It's one of my favorite part of the project is getting oil on that piece of wood and rubbing it all over, and then just watching everything just pop up.
Now, I got a question, and this is going to be like serious questions. Come on, guys. Have you guys used Odie's yet on any cutting boards or charcuterie boards or anything like that?
Yes.
Ditto.
Have you let it sit for the week, 2-week period so it could cure before handing it off to the customer?
No.
I'm going to take the faces.
Mine was for me, so I didn't use it for a customer, and I had maybe a day in between, but that was pretty much. It's still good. I mean, I might have ingested some Odie's, but it's delicious.
The main reason I ask is because, of course,
toast.
if it's your own, you can reapply the Odie's. Now, you're not going to hand it off to if you handed, let's say, it off to a customer with Odie's, would you just tell them to use their normal cutting board care instructions after that?
So I did not wait the 2 to 3 weeks curing time for it. The couple projects I put Odie's on, I let the customer know. I'm like, this oil that I'm using is a great oil, but it takes 2 to 3 weeks to cure. So this is how, I would suggest handling it. And after the 3 weeks, it'll be totally waterproof and ready to go. If you don't, everything will be okay, and it, will hold up. You just might have to oil and wax it later on, much earlier than, a couple of years down the line or what have you. So I kind of give them a heads up because, Odie's is a great product, but the curing time is just a little too long for some of the customers I have. And I want to utilize it. And I even hit them up before I use it. And I tell them that. And most of the time, once I tell them what, Odie's does and how it cures and the benefits from it, they're usually good with it. And I use it on a couple of gifts too. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's not like we're going to eat off it or anything, but they wanted something safe because if it's on a desk, their kids might be chewing on it. Who knows? So you want to make sure, it's safe for the household.
Okay. Because on this one, I think I'm going to just use either Wally sauce, or I'm going to probably use what's the other one that I have that Howard's, I believe it is. Howard's?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Howard's, the one in Port Oil.
Josh, excuse me.
It's Howard's.
Are you drinking a fifth of OE over there, Josh? What is that?
So I got a SodaStream, and we're not sponsored by SodaStream. And I put some Mio in there, and then I carbonate it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like you're drinking some Old English or like a 40 ounce of something.
No, I'm not that interesting. Sorry, try again.
Well, anyway, since now he's drinking some OE, as I never heard it called before, which I don't know why. But anyway, Nick, I have to know, how was the trip down to Texas?
It's long and slow. This trailer from U-Haul don't go over 65, or else she starts to go back and forth like a fishtail. So it's just me and my dog and the trailer. We stopped so far in Dublin, Virginia.
Ireland?
No, Dublin. Kiss me, I'm Irish. Or you must be Irish since you know what's Dublin. Anyway, if you get that, you're probably older like me. Anyway, then we stopped in Knoxville. And finally, yesterday I stopped in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, my gosh. Alabama, man.
So the cool part is my dog's such a cool guy that most of the places when they see him, they usually just let him stay for free. They don't charge me the pet place. I have to say yesterday the folks up in Birmingham were super cool. And I'm like, oh, hey, man, that's a sweet dog. He's so cool and chill. They're like, don't worry about the pet fee. And I'm like, oh, thanks, But I'm itching to get to Texas so I can get my shop set up. I'm staying at some family's house right now, so I see they have a 2-car garage, and I just went in there to feel the space, just to be surrounded by the 2-car space.
I'm sorry, but I can see you laying down on the floor and just like staring up at the ceiling, dreaming about your new shop.
Dude, seriously, becoming one with the space. I need to get the feng shui of the situation. Just because, like, soon, I'm thinking to myself, soon this will all be mine. And it feels good to be able to expand a little bit. But, yeah, that's other than that, though. The drive's just taking forever. I'm not having a fantastic time doing it.
Well, I'm sure, listening to Sawdust Nation the entire time has been, picking you up and helping you get through the hours. Right?
Literally, I've listened to every episode of Sawdust Nation now. And if I'm not gonna restart it until at least I hit Houston. So, but
well, that's how we got the 6,500 benchmark is because of old Nick. On
that's right. Hey, so for those of you who don't know, we just hit 6,500 downloads on the podcast. So thanks to our fans and our listeners. That's all you guys, but. Other than that,
I don't know. Can we call them fans? I mean, I would call them listeners, but
I don't know. If they want to be I'm not a fan of Sawdust Nation. I'm a listener. So, no, I'm a fan. I am a fan.
You're part of the crew, man. You're part of the SDN crew.
This is a weird episode.
You guys don't want to hear me talk anymore about my drive. It's really, really super boring. I put out a story or something like that on Instagram today about where I was, and that was pretty much the highlight of my trip. But, Josh, what's going on in your shop, dude?
Well, man, not doing too much. Sorry. It's been a weird month. I think we're all super busy. Nick is moving, and in military terms, PCSing. AJ is sitting there, and he's making flags left and right, and they keep coming out better than the last one. I can't wait till he catches up because it's going to be a masterpiece in some museum. And myself, I'm on a weird schedule, 3 on, 2 off. It's weird. I lose track of the days of the week. In fact, the guys here texted, hey, what we're going to talk about tonight? And I'm like, whoa, it's podcast night. But I have a whole lot of projects. My list kind of ranges from coin holders, carves, to, cabinets, to tables, to pretty much a sprinkle of everything, and I have no time to do any of it. So in the 2 days I have off, it's a rush to spend time with family, complete some projects, and prep projects so I can kind of glue stuff together when the kids are sleeping and I have some time. But, it's the pains that we always feel. Work life, family life, and, of course, shop life. But right now in the shop, I will be carving a walnut going away gift here this weekend, or my weekend. I got the next 2 days off. And that will be something similar to what Nick did. I'm going to put some gold lettering in there, and I'll be doing some laser engraving on the back as well. So inspiration from a fellow SDN crew member.
Nice.
Then I'll be doing a table. I'll be gluing that up and hopefully sanding and putting together the table and getting out of the shop in 2 days. Go ahead, man.
What kind of table? Coffee table, big table, small table, end table?
This is a big farmhouse table. They bought the legs already for me. So I didn't have to do that. And I was going back and I talked to you guys about this. If I wanted to do ash with pine legs or just do entire pine table. And for the cost and the amount of time they wanted the piece in, I went with pine. The boards have been stabilizing in the shop for a good week or more, and they've been on the shelf. So I'm hoping that, when I picked them up, they were fairly light anyway. So I did much like AJ did and went through an entire pile. And yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so I'm going to cut those up, get those jointed together and ready for the top. And AJ just went down. I think he was attacked by his cat. That or a raptor. I'm not quite sure.
It felt like a velociraptor. Jesus.
Jurassic Park up in here. Let's see what else I got. Got those 2 projects, and then obviously the wine cabinet. I have the wood for it. I'm going to be piecing that together as well. So basically, when something's drying, I'm going to be moving on to the next project, and then vice versa. Hopefully, I'll complete a good number of projects, or at least get to a point where I can complete them during the week. But this last couple days off I did get some sanding in and get some projects complete. 2 gifts were actually, projects were given out as gifts. One hasn't received it, but I'm looking forward to when they do, because it is it's a carved flag, but it has multiple different colors in it, and that's something new for me. I haven't done that before, and I think it's a pretty unique piece. I sent it to the guys, and pretty proud of it. Tried some different techniques. So, and then the other one was just a regular carve, but I created a little. They showed me their vision, and I created what they wanted, which is always a great feeling. But to sand these projects down, I used a new abrasive from Orca Abrasives, and I will say that they're 5-inch discs that are meant for the DeWalt and the Rigid and some of these other disc sanders are just, they blew me away. Okay, so I usually don't go out and I don't buy expensive sandpaper. I am the Amazon warrior, and I'll buy the 200 piece for $13 and go through pads like left and right. I literally used 1 pad, and I sanded like 3-4 projects, and it still has life in it. Like, the quality of these pads are just, they're amazing. These discs, they have pads. I mean, they have a wide variety of, sanding materials that you can get, and they're just high quality. It's really impressive. I wish I would have went and bought these earlier, but it's a live and learn scenario. Their price is good, and go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw out an idea and talk about everybody's favorite disc size. Since what? You AJ has.
I didn't think this was going to make it to the show. I really didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either. We're going to put them in the corner.
Look, I'm talking about. Josh has the 5-inch disc, right? AJ has the 3.
Yes, I had the 5-inch sanding disc.
And AJ uses the 3-inch disc, right? Or the 6.
No, I technically, my Mirka I have a 3-inch Mirka, a 6-inch Mirka, but my 6-inch can go to a 5-inch as well.
So what you're saying is you have extensions.
I can extend it any which way I want. I can go bigger, smaller, fit into contours different, smooth out those curves a little bit.
Well, it's nice to have, options like that. I'm stuck with the 5-inch. I can't go lower. I'm not going to go any higher. I just kind of what I bought and have to deal with what I got.
Yeah. The good Lord blessed me with a 5-inch
almost like a Stretch
disc.
Armstrong,
a 5-inch disc Festool. So I'm sticking with the 5 because.
Is that the 125 or whatever?
Yes. I don't remember offhand. It's in my trailer right now. I don't know. I gotta go look.
It's Fez tool. It's a green
No,
tool. That's all that matters.
So I'm looking at getting a Rotex, a better Rotex.
Merca? Oh.
But we'll see if the disc size is going to change because it's just, but I do have to give it to Orca that they make something for everybody. So,
no matter the size of your sanding disc, they make something for you.
Exactly.
They do.
So this is so terrible.
And in the stuff that we had gotten, I know I tried a few things out. I'm actually really excited to try those white pads out for the applying the Odies and buffing it out because, I'm doing it by hand right now. And, I know how it comes out. It comes out nice. But I was watching a couple videos on his Instagram of them applying Odies. And the way it comes out is it's really nice. And it's effortless at that point because you're letting the sander do all the work, instead of you buffing that stuff out. And speaking of Odies, I know you guys have it. Have you ever had an issue with it after you have it open and closed and, you open it a few times? Have you had it, if you noticed that it might clump up a little bit?
Yeah.
And kind of become jelly?
I always mix it up before I use it, and I keep a little pad in there, what I apply with. So basically, I'll take the pad out, and there's a stick I leave in there, and I stir it. So I think it's a little piece of walnut. And then when it's done, I use the pad that stays in there, and it's a little nice process that works for me.
One thing, because I reached out to Odie's because I noticed that it was getting like these harder pieces, like it was gelling up on me. But like the thin stuff, and they actually came and told me, try this this gas that's called Bloxygen. And I was like, what? It sounded strange. And I'm thinking I got to go to like a welding store or something like that to go and get this stuff. But you could buy it right on Amazon. It comes in like a computer duster can. And what you do is you spray it into the can. It's heavier than air. So it pushes the air out. You cap it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Sounds like...
And I've been using it on stains.
It sounds like something that
sounds like
that has... No,
snake oil?
This sounds like one of those fairy tales like Spalted Pine. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
I got 2 cans of this stuff.
Shots fired.
Yeah. I got some magic...
I got 2 cans of it. And
AJ, I got some magic beans if we want to buy some.
I really don't like this episode right now. We shouldn't have hit record yet.
Oh, come on. Anyway. It ain't that bad. So, anyway, long story short, I think what we're taking away from all this, go get you some Orca. Use the Sawdust Nation 10 code. And then if you need your Odies and it's starting to lump up, grab some, what's that stuff called, man?
Bloxygen.
Nope. Don't even listen to me anymore.
It's called
Huh?
It's called Bloxygen.
Is it Bloxygen?
Yeah. Blocks. Because it blocks oxygen.
Yeah, that checks. And, I haven't had that issue yet. Usually when I stir it up, everything kind of comes back together. But
how long have you had it?
I don't know. I would have to check my Amazon.
Well, here's the thing. What I was getting, I stirred it each time. The stuff that was stirred was fine, but like the stuff up the sides that you might scrape, since it's so thin, it would like kind of dry out quicker.
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying. The guys over at Odie's were just saying that it's normal. It's going to happen. But, I was noticing that I was getting it into my finish, and I'm picking these little pieces out. Yeah, because, when I stirred, I was getting the sides. And I'd be applying it and buffing it, and I'm like, why is it, like, clumpy? And now I realized it was just the stuff that was kind of drying out. But, don't listen to me. I'll have good Odies, and good stains when you guys don't believe me.
No, man. I honestly never heard of that, and I haven't had the issue.
I never did either.
I have a question.
Look at this smirk.
Would you ever put Odies on a Spalted Pine piece that you made?
I'm sending it to you right now, so you're aware.
Anyway.
We have some questions, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do. I was going to talk about my new table saw coming in, but I guess we can go to questions. That's fine.
Nope.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't
bro.
want to hear about my Spalted Pine.
Fast track you there. I didn't mean to fast track you there.
Fine. No, as most of you guys have figured out or messaged me by now, I'm getting a new table saw setup coming in. I'm pretty stoked about it. I've been waiting for it to ship. It's been like over a month. And a lot of people are behind the shipping because of, the holidays and everything else. So kind of waiting for that to come in. I'm going to be getting rid of my old table saw and my old bench. I bought a new toolbox for my planer so I can take that apart and basically sell that bench and the flip top all as one unit. Get it all at the shop at once. It will roll right out the door. I already planned out the shop layout and kind of how I'm going to utilize the space, and it's going to look quite different than it does now, but same kind of benches and equipment I have now with just a really nice table saw. So AJ, calm down. I'm not building another bench, not yet. My outfeed table is going to be the bench I currently have and toward the front. I'm just going to utilize that, and that way my laser will be in the other end anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. Eventually, I'll rebuild that to make it more, sturdy / flat. I'm lost. Why?
Yo, I don't like this guy. He moves down to Texas and then he becomes a jerk.
Oh, jeez.
So he sent me the picture.
They're texting back and forth while I'm talking.
He sent me the picture.
Wait, you're sending pictures
of the quote.
I sent the picture. They're not
spalted
cracked.
pine. It's just cracked pine, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not cracked.
Huh, that is kind of different. I've never seen that before. We might want to post a picture about this on the Sawdust Nation podcast page and have the people weigh in.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
That's what
we're going to
should
have
do.
people weigh in. I'm going to say that this is spalted mahogany and see if people correct us.
That's not mahogany. That's spalted pine.
People get mad about that too.
There we
seriously.
go. We get our answer.
But yeah, so that's what's going on in my shop. Let's go ahead and talk more about these questions that we have from our listeners.
We have some questions, don't we, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Wow, this is like deja vu.
Oh my goodness.
So it's been a long week. Bear with us, guys. We're this is, I don't know about you guys, but when we do these podcasts, it's kind of like my wind down, like my little getaway, especially when I can't get in the shop. So we're just having a good time and doing the podcast. So first question is Kumos.workshop. He actually sent a voice clip in talking about our first projects. So let's give it a listen.
How's it going, boys? Noel from Kumos.workshop here. Wanted to give you guys a little shout out since I haven't called in a little while. So, good work on the podcast. Like, super funny. I always laugh every time I hear you guys. Great work on your individual projects. You guys keep up putting some amazing projects out. And yeah, quick question. What was it that got you guys into woodworking? Was it like you always wanted to do this? You do a little project for the house and then decided that it was something you could do more seriously, maybe make a business out of it? So yeah, looking forward to your answer. Keep up the amazing work, guys. Peace.
AJ, what is your...
Jesus.
Yep.
Tell us your origin story.
What's my what? So I grew up in North Arlington. No.
Did you find a glowing rock or anything? I just got to know.
I did. I don't understand that reference, so you're going to probably have to enlighten me on that one.
Oh, boy. It's just... oh.
So how I got started in this whole thing, and my first project, because I didn't listen to the question, was the first project
fired. You're all fired.
My first project that really, I guess, made this whole thing take off was honestly the flag. I made my very first flag for the Vernon, not fire department, Vernon Police Department for Makers Never Forget Challenge to give back to first responders on National First Responders Day, which is in October. And I was really excited about it. When I saw the post come up from Williampatrickcustoms on Instagram, he posted it up, wanted to get one maker from each state, and they were going to do a flag or something to honor their first responders, fire department, police department. And I was nervous, very, very nervous to do it. And I did my first wavy flag and found a template online, did it off that way. And it came out really, really nice. Ever since then, I grew from there and started making my own flags, hand carved. And now it's really taken off. And that first flag, without doing that first one and stepping up and being part of that great challenge, I don't know what I actually would be making today. I don't know if I would just stick with, some farmhouse stuff, maybe some simple shelves. But truly, those flags were the big kicker to it. So what about yourself, Josh?
Well, I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but the first 2 projects I've ever done was for the house. We PCS'd, or we moved into Jersey, and I got sick and tired of moving with just, I'm going to say Walmart furniture. And it would just fall apart on you during the move or after the move or even before the move. I'm like, look, we're big. We like to read and we have a lot of books. I'm like, I'm going to build us some nice bookshelves. And my wife looks at me and goes, uh-huh. And, the course of a couple months, figuring out how I'm going to do it, getting some tools and everything, I built the 2 bookshelves that are in my living room right now with adjustable shelves, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, I had these tools. I kind of enjoyed the process and figuring out. It was like a puzzle. I was in the garage, and what got me started, Instagram and all that, was my neighbor came over, and she was like, hey, I have all these coffee cups from where my husband goes on his trips, and I like a way to display them. And I'm like, well, do you have anything in mind? She showed me a picture, and I built that for her. And it got posted on Instagram and Facebook, and it just kind of blew up from there. And since then, I just been doing commissions and growing the shop because, with the community I'm in here and online, why not? It's a passion of mine, and it's definitely something I want to continue doing. So that's one of the reasons my shop has grown the way it has. But Nick, man, you've been doing this a little bit longer than AJ and I, and I'm curious. What's your answer to this question?
So I used to run a cornhole production company / business back in Charleston, South Carolina, way back in 2012. I know, right? Don't worry. I always measured to make sure the cornholes were all 6 inches. But anyway,
we might have to rate this episode.
Anyway, so that's the first thing I ever made was cornhole boards, and it just turned into one thing after the next, branching out. And now the defunct company was called Low Country Corn Stars. Anyway, yeah, but since then I've branched out and started making a whole bunch more different things, different techniques, learned a lot of stuff. So anyway. That's where I'm at. That's my origin story. First thing I ever made, and I actually did a pretty good job too. I got really good quick because I hand painted everything. So I'm not saying I'm like fantastic at art, but I'm kind of good. So
I'm not saying I'm gonna pat myself on the back, but
I'm not trying to be like actually, if you go on the Facebook,
no, man,
and look,
you were pretty good.
The page is still there. You can go check it out. Check it out at Low Country Corn Stars. But please don't order anything because I won't answer you there. You have to hit me up on my new page.
Hey, I got a question about your signs that you do make. And you cut them out of all one piece hardwood. It's not like you're cutting out the letters and then gluing them on, or they're all one piece, correct? And
it just depends on what size somebody wants. Okay. Like if they want a larger sign with letters that are like protruding, then yeah, I'm gonna cut letters out and I'm gonna put them on another piece of wood or another piece of HDU, like your Ranger's badge, that the Ranger tab, the military, the tab. Yep. Was that all cut out of one, or was that separate pieces? And I'm gonna get somewhere with. So the Ranger tab is carved out of one solid piece of hardwood, and I could do that with pretty much any hardwood. Okay. The scroll, I had to actually marry different pieces of wood together to get that much material, and then I carved it out just like I was carving out a regular tab. If that makes any sense. What It does. And then you paint them. And what kind of paints are you using? Just regular acrylic, or is there something? Because I'm thinking of changing my paints up. That's why I was curious on what kind of paint you were using. And I don't know why Josh is giving me this look like he wants me to quit this podcast. I use liquid.
No, I was just confused because. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
A combination of spray paints and Liquitex Liquitex acrylic paint. So if I'm gonna say I want to make a sign that leaves the recessed portion natural wood color and the high portion, like say black. All right, I'll spray paint the entire plank, and then I'll carve out the area that I want to be natural wood. So it leaves that picture or the letters readable in the black color against a natural wood background. Okay. But if I have to reverse that and make the recessed portion colored, I will usually use Liquitex acrylic paints. I get it at Michael's. It's sort of expensive, but a large tube will get you a long way.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all that I needed to know because I have issues with my acrylics. I'm
actually curious on what issues you have, man, because I have pretty much the same acrylic paints that you do, and I haven't really had any issues with them. And I'm curious, like, what issues you're having. So if I run into them, I kind of know how to handle them.
It's not really an issue. It's more like the stuff I got it's not super thick. It's not super thin. And it sometimes doesn't coat, because I've seen some of them. There's a brand out there. I don't remember which one it is, but they say you can pretty much do one coat on bare wood and it's been tested and proven. But, the stuff I do, like my stars, even though it's going over stain, I would have to do those at least 2 times to get a pure white star. You could see all the brush strokes and whatnot in my paint. But, I just wanted to see what you were using versus maybe, the brand.
So on lighter colors like white and yellow, you're going to have that. That's just, there's no way around it. If you're painting on wood with grain, you're going to see that grain show through. The only way I've found that the grain doesn't show through as much is if I get a small roller, like a really small roller from the hardware store. They make them for like doing around the edges of doors and stuff like that. It's just, you roll it on and it rolls on thick. But the only problem with that is you can't always get into super, super small areas like the stars when you're rolling it on.
All right, cool. Thank you. So, like I said, it's not there weren't issues. It was just more like how could I do it maybe without spending so much time?
Yeah, I got you. I mean, like you run into issues with smaller spaces and having it be as thick as it is. I mean, like, and then lighter colors make sense. With that, we have another question from Trails Custom Woodworks. Isaiah went ahead and gave us a voice message, and I'll play it for you now.
Hi guys, it's Isaiah from Trails Custom Woodworks with another question for the podcast. Shop furniture is a huge part in woodworking. I think it is because I have a lot of shop furniture in my shop, but I'm just wondering what your favorite piece of shop furniture is that's in your shop and why it is. Thanks guys, have a good week.
Nick, looks like you have a good answer for that.
I only have one answer, and that's because I only have one piece of shop furniture left, and so normally I would say it would be my miter station because you can go ahead and put shelves and all that stuff above it and cabinets below it, all that jazz, and a lot of storage and whatnot. But the only piece of shop furniture left is my CNC cart, and I built that thing like a tank. I have drawers with drawer slides in it with the easy close, and tons of space underneath I even put an air compressor underneath it. So for that last minute blow offs, you just pull the cord out or pull the cable out and hose off the wasteboard. Sorry, forgot what I was talking about. Where are we again?
It's all that driving, man. It's getting to you.
I know, man. It's terrible. But that's all I got. What about you there, Josh? I know you got shop furniture out the wazoo over there.
Why does everyone pick on my shop furniture?
Hey, you make a lot of shop furniture. I'm just saying.
Because you have a lot of it.
I do, but I still maintain a lot of space in this shop, so I utilize it correctly.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying you have a lot of it.
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, if you break it down, I do have a miter saw station, a workbench, a movable bench that has and now has drawers in there that has my Ridgid sander on top, and then my drum sander, and then my CNC station, and then right at the moment my table saw, and then with that flip top. So yeah, I do have some shop furniture. My favorite, it's changed back and forth because, as you build it and modify certain things, it changes. And I do like my CNC station. The way it's ended up, it wasn't really how I envisioned it, but it's working out really well. I have storage for, pieces of wood. I have storage for all my bits. I have storage for a keyboard and a mouse. I mean, it just works really well for my setup. It was kind of something that morphed as I went, but it turned out pretty good. I will say that the table saw setup I have finally ended up in a way that I could utilize everything and maximize it. Yes, that is leaving the shop, and it is one of my favorites. But I think I did it smart. I turned the table saw. I gave myself an extension when I needed it. And the flip top allowed, for work surface area. So I'm actually about to not have a flip top in my workshop for the first time. I've had one in there since, the first time I built a bench. So it's going to be kind of weird. It's been utilized and worked really well for me. And I would have to say that is my favorite.
Interesting.
Nice.
AJ, what about you, man?
Honestly, my shop furniture is very limited. I don't have a nice miter station like everyone else, and mine is mobile. With it's supposed to have 2 fold-down wings. It's only got 1 because I just haven't had time to put the other one on. And usually I only have my material on the right side where it hangs off, so I utilize that one. I really got to think. I would have to say that has so far been my favorite. I mean, my CNC table is just a table. There ain't nothing special to it. It's got a ton of storage underneath because there's nothing else that I built with it. And no flip-top carts for me. Kind of just a couple mobile bases. So I would say my miter sort of station, mobile station.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, which I might be, but your outfeed table is a center for not only your table saw, for much of your work and storage.
Isn't this supposed to be your favorite piece of shop furniture?
I know you dislike it, but you utilize that thing all the time. Imagine your life in the shop without it.
You're right. But I hate it because it has a nice bow in the center. It's not level. It's I get it. I get what you're saying, and I'm just busting your chops. It is very, it's utilized 100%.
Honestly, I thought that was going to be your pick.
Nope.
I was surprised when you said
bit.
the miter.
No, because I have so many issues with it. I can't do flat glue ups on it because it's literally bowed right in the center. Because when I built it, that outfeed table, to let everybody know, when I first made that was actually going to be a outfeed table for a small contractor saw. It was going to house my miter saw. It was going to house a router table at one point. So it was going to be like yours, Josh, and have everything in it. But I didn't build it right because I was limited on space, and then made another cart for the miter saw, and then just started using this as an outfeed table and a do-it-all bench. I mean, I stain on it, glue on it, beat stuff on it. So it's utilized as an everything bench. But with the 3/4 top and no supports underneath, it's very flexible. So if you're beating on it, it sort of bounces. And it's not like you're not getting a good hit. I don't get it.
Oh, never mind.
I'm actually curious, any suggestions? Because, I'm going to be utilizing something I already have in the shop, and I'm going to utilize it basically as long as I can. But I will be, when things slow down, which they probably never will, be building a outfeed table for that new table saw. And, I've been conflicted. The current bench that I'm going to put over there is quite long. It's about, 8 feet, give or take. And it's about 3.5, 4 feet in width. Mm-hmm. And, it's gonna basically line up with the table saw, and I'll have a bench on the other side, utilize it almost like you do. But I don't know. Get any suggestions for,
Yes.
I mean, Nick, you jump in on this too.
when you were talking about your table saw earlier, are you able to do, because I know with the rigid one that I have, they do a fold down outfeed table that attaches to the table saw itself. So then you can utilize it when it's needed and then, fold it away.
They have an option where you can purchase an outfeed table. I don't believe it's fold down. And I don't know if I want to go ahead and just buy that because I would love to have a work surface on the other side too. I definitely want to utilize it just as a outfeed table because in our shops they're small enough where you need every single surface is a usable surface. And even though it's an outfeed table and it needs to be flat and all this nonsense, it's going to be a work surface. I will utilize that as a surface because like everything else in the shop, if it's flat and it's empty, it's going to have something on it eventually.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. What about you, Nick?
So
yeah.
I'm tired, man. So right now, like, if you asked me to build an outfeed table for a new table saw or buy one, I'd probably be like, just break down and buy it. I'm so ready to just, I don't know. I hate messing around when I have to match something up completely exact to the height of another item. Like, how you want to get that miter state or that miter slot like dead perfect with the back of the table saw and all that stuff. So, I mean, if I was like recharged and excited about getting a new table saw, yeah, I might probably try my hand at building one. But right now, I'm on the board with just buying one, man. I'm sorry. That's just me at the moment.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's all a preference. I mean, especially right now, traveling like that and then, you're just excited to get your tools set up so you can start, not start again, but, start
That's another thing you got to look at, too, is when are you going to have time to make sure that table matches your outfeed? Your outfeed matches.
Mine is actually lower. Because I built it for a cobalt table saw, and then when I got the rigid sits higher. So it's like, I don't know, 3/8, ½ inch higher, lower than my table saw. So you just have to deal with a little bit of a dip at the end. But
well, you could always take the angle grinder to the legs and be good to go on the table saw.
Yeah, like if you built it too tall, there's always a way to get, it a little bit lower. But, if it was a 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, a little bit lower, it's not going to hurt. Yeah. And when you do the dados, essentially, as long as they line up, that's all you really need. That's, at least what I found. Having it perfect to each other, yeah, that's the goal. But, sometimes you don't always meet your goals when it comes to shop furniture.
Well, so look on Veteranwoodco's page. Mike over there built outfeed table / assembly table for his saw stop, and it's with black melamine. And black melamine on the surface is beautiful, and it looks like it looks like something you would buy custom made, but he made it himself. And I think he sent me a copy of the plans, so if you guys want them, I'll send them your way.
So I'm actually, I'm really starting to think, especially because of Nick and I's situation, that my outfeed table is going to be something I can take apart fairly easy. I don't necessarily need it on wheels, but something that is light, sturdy, and the black melamine is definitely up in the plans. But you ever see those benches? Essentially, they're made usually with high quality or just plywood in general, and basically the center of it is they have holes and you can actually store stuff in there. There's a certain maker that produce these plans and a lot of people use them. Mike Coffey has something similar for his miter saw station, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think
of
what
you're talking about.
I had the name before we started, but I can't think of it now. But so essentially, you take 2 pieces of plywood in the center. You're going to put some cutout plywood with some holes in there, and it could be very lightweight. It can be very sturdy. And then when I go ahead and have to move, I can go ahead and take the legs off pretty easy. I can adjust the height, especially if I do it right. And, if I do black melamine on both sides, if the top gets all messed up, which it shouldn't with that, I can just flip
You
it
can just
over
flip it.
and utilize that. I'll
take it one step further. So adjusting the height, I saw a thing on YouTube. I can't remember what. Don't ask me what maker or whatever made it, but they have a floor jack adjust the height, and then they lock the height of the table into place, and that's where they're at.
I raise you one and just go ahead and get an adjustable table.
I'll raise you another and get a scissor lift.
I raise you another and get one I buy that's remote activated, and I can lower and lift it anytime I want.
Okay. Oh, man.
Hey, Jesus.
Just get leveling feet and you're fine.
Yeah. Essentially, there's 100 different ways you can go about it. You don't have to do an expensive option. I definitely want something that's sturdy, and if it's lightweight, even better, because as is, when I load up the truck to move, it will be an interesting endeavor, and Nick can tell you about that.
Yeah, it was a pain.
I bet.
It was a pain.
I bet. Well, I know Nick's like falling asleep over there. He doesn't have his grandpa rocking chair.
I know it.
And
oh, hey, I do want to mention something though. Bring something up here for our listeners. I know we're gonna have a giveaway at the beginning of April. Am I right?
yes, we are. Yeah, we're gonna have on our YouTube Live. We're gonna be giving away a Kutzall shaping wheel
And a sweet package from Orca Abrasives. So
Yes,
yeah,
you are, right?
I just wanted to bring that up. So
Well, I mean, you brought that up because then you reminded me, and I can now talk about it. But we hit 6,500 downloads on our podcast, and as a thank you, we wanted to do a small giveaway, just for the listeners of the Sawdust Nation. And I was going to give away a wall-mounted magnetic bottle opener, and also still want to go with what we were planning on.
yeah, go for it.
Okay. So what we're going to do is going along with that bottle opener, we're also going to give away $10 off to your pick of the shop. So Nick, Josh is going to get into, if he's not laughing too hard, Josh is going to get into the details of how to enter for this giveaway. And, it's a very easy, simple thing just for the listeners as a big thank you. For joining us every Wednesday-ish, Thursday-ish to listen to the Sawdust Nation, get your helpful hints and tricks and tips. And I'm going to throw it off to Josh so he can let you know how
Can
to
I
enter.
interject real quick?
Okay, ladies. Oh, I had everything.
Hold that
up.
note. AJ, I need you to go ahead and post a picture of that on the Instagram so everybody knows what you're talking about. Because I would love to see a picture of it as well. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a bottle opener, right?
Is bottle opener?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it look like, though?
With a magnet inside. Yeah. It's wood, has a little metal magnet.
Okay. Can you post a picture of it so I can see it?
He's a very visual
You're going to
guy.
enter?
Well, I'm going to enter to win. Yeah, of course. No, I'm just playing.
You can't
I'm
enter
not.
to
I
win.
will not enter. I promise.
10 entries later. Anyway, to enter to win for the giveaway, it's going to be simple, okay? All you have to do is send an email to the sawdustnationpodcast@gmail.com and send us a picture of your most prized project, something that you're super proud of, something that you spent time on. It was either for the house, for a client, for a friend, what have you. It could be big, could be small, it could be medium. But in addition to that, I would like a small narrative, like 100 words. We can't have too many words or Nick won't read it. Of why that is your favorite piece. That way we're not just looking at a picture. I want to see and hear what you guys have to say. AJ and Nick, I don't want to speak for you, but we're doing this podcast, because we enjoy woodworking, we enjoy talking about it, but we do this for the community as well. And we've always said we like to give back, and we like hearing from you guys through questions and feedback, but we really, really want to know,
What's going on in your shop?
what project inspires, what goes on in your shop, essentially. We just talked about it today. What started our, woodworking journey. And it doesn't have to be that project, but something that inspires you every time you look back on it.
Yeah, outstanding. I'm excited to see all these entries coming in.
All right.
What, all two of them?
It's going to be mine and Nick's.
And my cat.
Oh, man.
Yes.
But yeah, and so I'm going to double tap the...
Go ahead. I just say all right.
Oh, it's all right. I'm gonna double tap one more time. Our YouTube Live is going to be the first Tuesday of April, which I believe is going to be April 6th, 2021. So if you are going to be present, you will have if you're going to be present, you have an opportunity to win a Kutzall disc or some Orca abrasives. So be there or be square.
How do you enter that giveaway?
For that giveaway?
You have to join the YouTube Live because we're going to send out a link to a form. You're going to fill a form out, and then you're going to send it back in.
You also have to subscribe
Easy
to our
squeezy, lemon
YouTube, by the
peasy.
way, which is really simple. You just smash that subscribe button.
Maybe I should have just let Nick.
Hit the bell.
And you have to hit, but you have to hit the bell as well.
Anyway.
I don't have anything more to add to that.
Yeah, you got nothing. It's okay.
Hey, don't forget, guys, we're also going to have a special guest at the end of this month. Should we announce who that is?
Has he committed yet?
Sure.
Is it
Why
really
not?
going to be
I mean,
Jesus this time?
Yes, he is. He was committed. No,
Keep praying.
Jesus.
Maybe.
He said he has other things. It's going to be Lucas over at Mannmadeinma is going to be joining us at the end of the last Tuesday of the month for a podcast episode. I don't even know what episode that would be. 40? Are we going to hit 40 at that time?
Let's see.
Oh my God.
I think so. Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
38? Yeah, wow. Well, that's going to be episode 40. So check out episode 40 on the last Tuesday of the month, and we will have special guest Lucas from Mannmadeinma. If you don't follow him, go follow him. He's definitely worth it. The posts that he does. What?
Mannmadeinma.
I got nothing else. I got nothing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. I think Nick's going to hit us with the sponsors one more time, and we'll head into some other announcements.
All right. So we want to give a great big thank you to Totalboat for their outstanding epoxy and their Halcyon finishes. Whatever they produce is a Grand Slam home run. So give them a visit, www.totalboat.com. Get on that boat, Totalboat. And Jtechphotonics. If you're looking for that laser to complete your project, check out Jtechphotonics laser kits at www.jtechphotonics.com. Jay over there is a Class A customer service representative. If you give him a call, he'll get you squared away, and tell him Nick sent you. And lastly, thank you, Orca, for everything you've done for us. Thank you for supporting our giveaway at the beginning of April. And other than that, who's next? Is it you, AJ?
If you want to get a hold of us, you can reach us all on Instagram. You can reach myself over at Crafted and NJ, Nick over at NPG Creations, or Josh over at North Country Woodworking. You can also reach all three of us over at Sawdust Nation Podcast on the big old IG. And if you want to send your question in a voice memo, or you could type it out, you could send it to our email at sawdustnationpodcast@gmail.com. On top of that, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review, and then also leave us a typed out review as well. We always like to read them. And the higher the star rating, the more we get pushed up in the ranking, and then more people get to listen to the Sawdust Nation. And also, speaking of Kutzall, I know I'm breaking character on this, but if you head over to Kutzall, you can use a promo code and you can get a small discount on their product. And that promo code would be Crafted in NJ.
Boom.
Just if you want to start up and try them out, give them a try, because the Kutzall discs is all I use. And I have to say, I fell in love with them the second I started using them. And with that, Josh, what's final words?
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. This episode was kind of crazy, but we got through it. You know, hopefully you guys are having a good week out there and getting in the shop more than we are. But with that, Nick, got anything to say?
Take care of yourself and each other. Until next time.
You know, every time you say that, I feel like it's a warm hug.
Really? I'm giving,
Yep, I
I'm
feel-
giving verbal hugs. Sorry.
Hey, AJ?
Bye-byes, everybody. Bye-byes.
And with that, go make some sawdust. Sawdust Nation out.
So yeah, I definitely think we should have had people send pictures of their discs, sanding discs for that. No, seriously, disc pics. It could have been a big thing.
I don't think that would have caught on.
What?